everyone. Welcome to the third production of Jamesburg Theatre for a Cause. All donations will benefit the Jamesburg First Aid Squad. I know you are really going to enjoy it. I would like to introduce you to the creator and director extraordinaire, Thomas Emmons.
Hello and welcome to the Real Hour. Welcome to the third annual Theatre for a Cause. I'm Thomas Emmons, the artistic director of the Jamesburg Theatre Group and your MC for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in to watch. We've got a great show for you tonight, a lineup of one-act plays brought to you by the fabulous cast members of the Jamesburg Theatre Group. It's amazing the amount of talent you can find in such a small town, and such a diversity in talent too. I mean, we've got singers, we've got dancers, photographers, and so much more. Of course, tonight we're celebrating theater, but I wish we could showcase it all. Let's have a round of applause for all of our creative minds in Jamesburg and in Monroe as well. The cast members of the Jamesburg Theatre Group are phenomenal. I mean, it's been such an honor to work with them, putting the show together for you tonight. I mean, we laugh, we smile. It's been such an enriching experience for me, and I hope it is for you too. We have 7 cast members this year that are my age and younger. They're all students from Jamesburg and Monroe, grades 7 through 12, and I just can't tell you how proud I am of them. I mean, they pulled through so much over the past couple of months and have always given it their all. They don't just make me proud, they make all of us proud. So let's give them a round of applause for tonight. Yes, this is our third annual Theatre for a Cause. 3 years we've been doing these shows now. I mean, the first Theatre for a Cause was in 2018. It's now 2020. Time flies by so quickly. You know, time flies by like toilet paper flies off the shelves in the middle of a pandemic, right? I mean, but we are living in extraordinary times right now. I mean, we've had pandemics before, but, you know, the sheer scale and the effects of this one, it's just so surreal to live through. So please, I implore you, please stay with the social distancing. Please wear your face coverings. Please wash your hands, and please don't go out unless you absolutely have to. I mean, please stay home and please stay safe, because that's one of the ways that we're going to defeat this virus, and we will defeat this virus. Make no mistake about it. And, you know, times have been tough. You know, there's no doubting that, but we hope to bring some sunshine and some laughter to your video screens and to your living rooms tonight, because we know that we all need it right now. And, you know, as far as distressing times are concerned, we are among them, but there's been so much kindness and there's been so much goodwill to come out of this too. We have so many hometown heroes that we're so proud of and that we're going to be celebrating, who are stepping up and making a tremendous difference in our community right now at a time when we need it the most. Whether it's our healthcare workers or first responders or essential workers and everybody else in between and beyond are stepping up to help those in need. And in that spirit, all proceeds earned from this show, the third annual Theatre for a Cause, will be donated to support the Jamesburg First Aid Squad. They are among our local first responders that are out there on the front lines right now, and even during normal times are out there saving people's lives. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much to the Jamesburg First Aid Squad and to all of our local first responders and all of our hometown heroes. We are proud to support you tonight, and we appreciate all that you do. You know, and of course, here at the Jamesburg Theatre Group, this is new for us too. We've never done a virtual performance before. You know, of course, we wanted to do an in-person event for Memorial Day, as we do every year, but we can't because of the current situation. And so this was a new and exciting experience for all of us, but rehearsing remotely through a video conferencing system, as we've been doing for the past couple of weeks, and recording our plays the same way, did not come without its challenges, but the cast brought their A game every day and remained committed throughout it all. So I count them among our hometown heroes too. We're joined once again this year by our fabulous cast members Dylan Clerkin, Giovanna Cornett, Kyla White, and Jamesburg's answer to Cary Grant, John Rutsky, who's performing the part of Mortimer Brewster in Arsenic and Old Lace. You might remember the 4 of them last year performed a dazzling rendition of Check Please in last year's Theatre for a Cause. We're also pleased to welcome 3 new cast members this year, Rachel Lefkovic, Gautami Kuntz, and Ava Friedman from the MTHS Footlights Club. Wait until you see the performance that all of these cast members have in store for you tonight. I just can't wait for you to see it. But I want to take this moment right now to thank all the cast members for everything that you have been able to do. I mean, your talent, your commitment, and your passion are second to none. I mean, I am so happy that I was able to work with you this year and that you were a part of this production, and I can't tell you how proud I am of you right now and all the work that you've done. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much to all of you. And I also want to take the opportunity to thank the parents of the cast members, as well as our creative team here at the Jamesburg Theatre Group, the Cabinet of Officers, Olivia Cardilli, Della Fitch, Samantha Rampacek, Daria Ludis, and Marlene Lawandi. Thank you to you guys as well. And also a very big thank you to the patrons of Jamesburg that helped fund this production. I have to get my list out, so please bear with me on this one. Jeff Protnicki, Ann Luckdeek, Jasmine Cornett, Karen Lester, Laura and Matt Calora, Susan Zeister, Raymond Reipel, Kathy Lynch, Kimberly Powers, Jenna and Rachel Escalera, Santone Travatolo, Lauren Clerkin, Courtney Carrig, Greg Nazarian, The Elks, Della Fitch, and The First Aid. And of course, a very big thank you to all of you watching tonight and everyone who has made a donation to the First Aid through our GoFundMe program. Your support means the world to all of us, and it makes such a world of difference in our place when we're trying to give back to our community and shape the unique and diverse character of Jamesburg. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much to all of you too. The performing arts is so much more than just a way to entertain people. It's a bridge for meaningful human connection. And the arts and the humanities gives our community soul. It brings out the best in people and it brings people together. And it is our sincere hope that we are able to do this for you tonight. To say a few words, please join me in welcoming the president of the Jamesburg First Aid Squad, Della Fitch.
Hi, my name is Della Fitch. I am the president of Jamesburg First Aid Squad, and I would like to first thank Thomas for all the work he's done with the theater group of Jamesburg, and I am happy to be a member now of that group. And I would also like to thank him so much for donating this year the funds from the play and the group to the Jamesburg First Aid Squad. And during this crisis, pandemic, with COVID, coronavirus, however you want to say it, times are tough. And being a volunteer squad, funding is already low. Most money comes from what we make. It's not like a paid squad where the members get paid for riding on the calls. All of us are volunteer, and they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. And because they're trying to give back to the community, like the theater group is doing, which we appreciate. Again, I can't thank yous enough. And I would like to say, like the group, the squad is there to serve our community. And during this crisis, they're out there on the front line, putting themselves at risk each and every day whenever a call goes off and not knowing. So we do appreciate all that the community is doing, all that the group's doing, all that Thomas is doing for the squad. I also would like to say, please be safe out there. Please wear your mask. If you have to go out, please don't go out if you don't have to go out. And if need be, gloves, please wash your hands. Please. It's not just essential for you to take care of yourself, but by taking care of yourself, you help take care of others, because some people have underlying, older people, kids, diabetics. So please just be very careful in what you do out there. But if you can, stay home. I know it's getting crazy to stay home, but this is the time to do family things. Check on your neighbors. Maybe even donate to others. Help make masks. If you're creative, food drives, any little thing can help. And you just don't know how far and how appreciate donations are. Food, money, any little thing helps the squad. And it's encouraging, very encouraging what this group is doing. It lets us know, I mean, not that we need an attaboy, and that's not the reason we're doing it, but it just boost the morale for the squad. And I want once again to say thank you very much.
Thank you, Della. Our first play for you tonight is called Words, 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 and it's written by David Ives for his series of one-act plays called All in the Timing. One of the most famous playwrights in all of history is, of course, William Shakespeare, and one of his most famous plays is Hamlet. And Hamlet is, of course, about the Prince of Denmark. We all know that. But Words, Words, Words is not so much about Shakespeare or as much about Hamlet as much as it is about the infinite monkey theorem. It's a widely discredited psychological theory that if you put chimpanzees in front of a typewriter and allow them to type for infinite periods of time, they'll eventually produce some recognizable text, like Hamlet, for example. Of course, this never was true, and it was this really out there theory that was produced, I believe, at the end of the 19th century. But nonetheless, David Ives snatched up this idea and wrote a satirical play about it, and I can't wait for you to see it. Starring in this play is John Rutsky, Kyla White, and Giovanna Cornett. I cannot wait for you to see it, so without further ado, here is our performance and our rendition of David Ives's Words, Words, Words.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate here.
Okay, so what have you got?
Me?
Yeah, have you hit anything? Let's hear it.
Okay. Ping drubba Ingawar carcinoma. That's as far as I got.
I like the
Yeah, kind of onomatopoeic.
I don't know. Feels to me like it needs some punching up.
You can always throw in a few jokes later on. You gotta get to the throw line first.
But do you think it's Hamlet?
Don't ask me. I'm just a chimp.
They could have given us a clue or something.
Yeah, or a story conference.
But that'd defeat the whole purpose of the experiment.
I know. 3 monkeys typing into infinity will sooner or later produce Hamlet.
Right.
Completely by chance.
Dr. David Rosenbaum up in that booth is gonna prove it.
But what is Hamlet?
I don't know.
What is Hamlet?
I don't know.
You know, this is really stupid.
Have you got something better to do in this cage? The sooner we produce the goddamn thing, the sooner we get out.
Sort of a publisher parish with a twist.
But what about Julius Rosenbaum? A guy who stands outside those bars and tells people, that one's Milton, that one's Swiss, and that one's Kafka. Just to get a laugh.
What's a Kafka anyway? Why am I a Kafka?
Search me.
What's a Kafka?
All his 4-eyed friends sure think it's a Stitch.
And how are we supposed to write Hamlet if we don't even know what it is?
Okay, so the chances are a little slim.
Yeah, and this from a guy who's supposed to be smart. This from a guy at Columbia University.
The way I figure it, there's a providence that oversees our pages. Rough draft them how we may.
But how about you, Milton? What have you got?
Let's see. Of man's first disobedience, and the fruit of that forbidden tree, whose mortal taste brought death into the...
Hey, that's good. It's got rhythm. It really sings.
Yeah?
But is it Shakespeare?
Who cares? He's got a real voice there.
Does Dr. Rosenbaum care about voice? Does he care about anybody's individual creativity?
Let's look at this from Rosenbaum's point of view for 1 second.
No! He brings us in here to produce copy. Then all he wants is a clean draft of somebody else's stuff. We're getting peanuts here to be somebody's hack.
Writing is a mug's game anyway, Swifty.
Well, it half made me mad.
Why not just buckle down and get the project over with? Set a schedule for yourself. Type in the morning for a couple of hours when you're fresh, then take a break. Let the old juices flow. Do a couple more hours in the afternoon, and retire for a shot of pie and some masturbation. What's the big deal?
If this Rosenbaum was worth anything, we'd be working on word processors, not these antiques. He's lucky he could find three who type this good. And he treats us like those misfits at the Bronx Zoo. I mean, a tire swing? What did he take us for?
I like the tire swing. I think it was a very nice touch.
Can't work under these conditions. No wonder I'm producing garbage.
How does the rest of yours go, Milton?
What, this?
Yeah, read us some more.
Blah, blah, blah. Whose mortal tastes brought death into the Blamagon. Knockwurst, bed socks, Tinkerbell. What do you think?
Blamagam is good.
Well, I don't know.
What's the matter? Is it the tone? I knew this was kind of a stretch for me.
I'm just not sure if it has the same expressive intensity and pungent lyricism as the first part.
Well, sure, it needs rewriting. But doesn't. This is a rough draft. Lights on!
This bit.
Are they walking?
What?
Are they watching?
I don't know. I can't see. I've got my paws over my eyes.
What?
What is the point of this?
Why do they videotape our bowel movements?
What?
Lights off.
How are you doing, Franz? What have you got?
Well, K K K K K K K K K K K K K K K K K K K.
What's that? Postmodernism?
20 lines of that.
At least it'll fuck up his data.
20 lines of that, and I went dry. I got blocked. I felt like I was repeating myself.
Do you think that's in Hamlet?
I don't understand what I'm doing here in the first place. I'm not a writer. I'm a monkey. I'm supposed to be swinging on branches and digging up ants, not sitting under fluorescent lights 10 hours a day.
It sure is a long way home to the sweet gardens of sweet Africa, where lawns and level downs of flock grazing the tender herb were sweetly interposed.
Paradise, wasn't it?
Lost!
Lost!
Lost.
I'm trying to deal with this in some, well, I'm trying to deal with that in some of this new piece here. It's still pretty close to the bone.
Just because they can keep us locked up, they think they're more powerful than we are.
They are more powerful than we are.
Just because they control the means of production, they think they can suppress the workers.
Things are how they are. What are you gonna do?
Hey, how come you're always so goddamn ready to justify the ways of Rosenbaum to the apes?
Do you have a key to that door?
No.
Do you have an independent food source?
No.
So call me a collaborator. I happen to be a professional. If Rosenbaum wants Hamlet, I'll give it a shot. Just don't forget, we're not astrophysicists. We're not brain surgeons. We're chimps. For apes in captivity, this is not a bad gig.
What's really frightening is that if we stick around this cage long enough, we're eventually going to evolve into Rosenbaum.
Evolve into Rosenbaum?
Brush up on your Darwin, baby. We're more than kin and less than kind.
Anybody got a smoke?
I'm all out.
Don't look at me. I'm not going to satisfy those voyeurs with the old smoking chimp act. No, thank you.
Don't be a sap, Swifty. You gotta use them. Use the system.
What do you mean?
Watch me while I put my antique disposition on. See what I mean? Galois 2, my fave.
They should have thrown in a Cupid doll for that performance.
It got results, didn't it?
Sure, you do your bonzo routine and get a Galois out of it. Last week, I told a typewriter and got a whole carton of Marlboros.
The trouble was, you didn't smoke them. You took a crap on them.
It was a political statement.
Okay, you made your statement and I got my smoke. All's well that ends well, right?
The only way we know they're watching.
Huh?
We perform, we break typewriters, we another page, and a cigarette appears. At least it's a sign that somebody out there's paying attention.
A resident philosopher.
But what if one of us really does write Hamlet? Here we are, set down to prove the inadvertent virtues of randomness and to produce something we wouldn't even recognize if it passed right through our hands. But what if one of us actually does it?
Will we really be released?
Will they give us the key to the city in the ticker tape parade?
Or will they move us on to Ulysses? Why did they pick Hamlet in the first place? What's Hamlet to them, or did a Hamlet that we should care? Boy, there's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scores of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's continually,
Hey, Swifty!
the pangs of despised love, the law's delay.
Hey, Swifty, relax, will you?
Have a banana.
I wish I could get Rosenbaum in here and see how he does at producing Hamlet. That's it.
What?
That's it. Forget about this random Hamlet crap. What about revenge?
Revenge? On Rosenbaum?
Who else? Hasn't he bereft us of our homes and families, stepped in between us and our expectations?
How would we do it?
Easy. We lure him in here to look at our typewriters. Test them out like something's wrong. But we poison the typewriter keys.
Oh, Jesus.
Share some juice of cursed hobona spread liberally over the keyboard. That'll work like a charm.
Great.
If that doesn't work, we invent him the tire swing and I invite him for a ride. Plus, I challenge him to a duel.
Oh, brilliant.
Can't you see it? In the course of combat, I casually graze my rapier over the poison typewriter keys and a hit. A palpable hit. For reserve, we light by a cup with some venomous distilment. We'll put the pellet with the poison in the vessel with the pestle.
Listen, I gotta get back to work. The man is gonna want his pages.
It's not a bad idea, but
What's the matter with you guys? I'm onto something here.
I think it's hopeless, Swifty.
But this is the goods.
Where was I? Bed socks, Knockwurst, Tinkerbell.
The readiness is all, I guess.
Damn straight, honey. Just let me know that Capon gives out.
Okay. You two serfs get back to work. I'll do all the thinking around here. Swifty, revenge.
Tinkerbell, Stuckle Swans, Hemorrhoid. Yeah, that's good. That is good. Stuckle Swans.
Act 1, Scene 1, Elsinore Castle, Denmark.
Hemorrhoid.
Enter Bernardo and Francisco.
Pomegranate.
Bernardo says, "Who's there?"
Bazooka.
That's the most relatable group of chimpanzees I've seen in a very long time. Our next play for you tonight is also by David Ives, and it was written for his series of one-act plays, All in the Timing, but this one takes on a more relatable subject, dating. This next play is called Sure Thing, and among some of the regrets that you might experience in dating are, of course, some ill-fated pickup lines and perhaps some ill-timed remarks. And I bet in those moments you probably wish that you would have been able to restart the conversation and make a better first impression. In real life, of course, you can't do that, but in our next play we get a pretty good idea as to what such a restart would look like. It features two characters, Betty and Bill, and an ever-changing, ever-restarting conversation. And needless to say, that takes some pretty strange avenues. Starring in this play is Rachel Lefkovic as Betty and Dylan Clerkin as Bill. I hope you enjoy. So without further ado, here's the Jamesburg Theatre Group's rendition of David Ives' Sure Thing.
Excuse me? Is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
Yes, it is.
Oh, sorry.
Sure thing.
Excuse me. Is this chair taken?
Excuse me?
Is this taken?
No, but I'm expecting somebody in a minute.
Oh, thanks anyway.
Sure thing.
Excuse me. Is this chair taken?
No, but I'm expecting somebody very shortly.
Would you mind if I sit here till he or she or it comes?
We do seem to be pretty late.
You never know, he might be turning down.
Sorry. Nice try, though.
Sure thing. Is this seat taken?
No, it's not.
Would you mind sit here?
Yes, I would.
Oh. Is this chair taken?
No, it's not.
Would you mind sit here?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. Every place else seems to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Great place.
Mm-hmm.
What's the book?
I just wanted to read inquired if you don't mind.
No, sure thing. Every place else seems to be taken.
Mm-hmm.
Great place for reading.
Yes, I like it.
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Hemingway. What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
Not actually. I've sure read about it, though. It's supposed to be great.
It is great.
I hear it's great. Waiter? What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
I'm a Mets fan myself.
Have you read it?
Yeah, I read it in college.
Where was college?
I went to Oral Roberts University.
Where was college?
I was lying. I never really went to college. I just like to party.
Where was college?
Harvard.
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner. I spent a whole winter reading him once.
I've just started.
I was so excited that after 10 pages, I went out and bought everything else he wrote. One of the greatest reading experiences of my life. I mean, all that incredible psychological understanding. Page after page of gorgeous prose. His profound grasp of the mystery of time and human existence. The smells of the earth. What do you think?
I think it's pretty boring.
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Do you like Faulkner?
I love Faulkner.
It's incredible.
I spent a whole winter reading once.
I was so excited that after 10 pages, I went out and bought everything else he wrote.
All that incredible psychological understanding.
And the prose is so gorgeous.
And the way he's grasped the mystery of time.
And human existence. I can't believe I've waited this long to read him.
You never know. You might not have liked him before.
That's true.
You might not have been ready for him. You have to think at the right moment or it's no good.
That's happened to me.
It's all in timing. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. I thought reading Faulkner was a great experience.
Yes.
The Sound and the Fury.
Well, onwards and upwards.
Waiter? You have to hit these things at the right moment or else it's no good.
That's happened to me.
It's all in timing. My name's Bill, by the way.
I'm Betty.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you come in here a lot?
I'm just in town for 2 days from Wuhan.
Oh. Wuhan. Do you come in here a lot?
Why are you asking?
Just interested.
Are you really interested, or do you just want to pick me up?
No, I'm really interested.
Why would you be interested in whether I come in here a lot?
I'm just getting acquainted.
Maybe you're only interested for the sake of making small talk. Long enough to ask me back to your place, to listen to some music, or because you just rented this great tape-free VCR, or because you got some terrific unknown Django Reinhardt record. Only all you really want to do is fuck, which you won't do very well, after which you'll go into the bathroom and pee very loudly, then pat into the kitchen, get yourself a beer from the refrigerator without asking me whether I'd like anything, and then you proceed to lie back down beside me and confess that you've got a girlfriend named Stephanie, who's away at medical school in Belgium for a year, and they've been involved with her off and on, and we'll call it a very intricate relationship for the past 7 years, none of which interests me, mister.
Okay. Do you come in here a lot?
Every other day, I think.
I come in here quite a lot, and I don't remember seeing you.
I guess we must be on different schedules.
Misconnections.
Yes, different time zones.
Amazing. You can live right next door to somebody in this town. Never even know it.
I know.
City life.
It's crazy.
We probably pass each other in the street every day. Right in front of this place, probably.
Yep.
Well, the waiters here sure seem to be in some different time zone. I can't seem to locate one anywhere. Waiter! So what are you?
I beg pardon?
Nothing. Sorry.
I guess we must be on different schedules.
Misconnections.
Yes, different time zones.
Amazing. But you can live right next door to somebody in this town. You never even know it.
I know.
City life.
It's crazy.
You weren't waiting for somebody when I came in, were you?
Actually, I was.
Oh. Boyfriend?
Sort of.
What sort of boyfriend?
My husband.
Aha! You weren't waiting for somebody when I came in, were you?
Actually, I was.
Oh, boyfriend?
Sort of.
What, sort of boyfriend?
We were meeting here to break up.
Mm-hmm. What's a sort of boyfriend?
My lover. Here she comes right now.
You weren't waiting for somebody when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself?
Do you think so?
Well, sure. I mean, what's a good-looking woman like you doing that alone on Friday night anyway?
Trying to keep away from lines like that.
No, listen. You weren't waiting for somebody when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself?
I guess it is in a way.
What's a good-looking woman like you doing that alone on Friday night anyway? No offense, but...
I'm out alone on a Friday night for the first time in a very long time.
Oh.
You see, I just recently ended a relationship.
Oh.
Of rather long standing.
I'm sorry. Well, listen, since reading by yourself is such a sad occupation for a Friday night, would you like to go elsewhere?
No.
Do something else?
No thanks.
I was headed out to the movies in a while anyway.
I don't think so.
Big chance to let Faulkner catch his breath. All those long sentences get him pretty tired.
Thanks anyway.
Okay.
I appreciate the invitation.
Sure thing. You weren't waiting for somebody when I came in, were you?
No, just reading.
Sort of a sad occupation for a Friday night, isn't it? Reading here all by yourself?
I guess I was trying to think of it as an existentially romantic. You know, cappuccino, great literature, rainy night.
That only works in Paris. We could hop the late plane to Paris to get on Concorde, find a cafe.
I'm a little short on plane fare tonight.
Darn it, so am I.
To tell you the truth, I was headed to the movies after I finished the section. Would you like to come along since you can't locate a waiter?
That's a very nice offer, but...
Uh-huh. Girlfriend?
2, actually. One of them's pregnant, and Stephanie.
Girlfriend?
No, I don't have a girlfriend. Not if you mean the castrating bitch I dumped last night.
Girlfriend?
Sort of.
What's a sort of girlfriend?
My mother. I just ended a relationship, actually.
Oh,
Rather long-standing.
I'm sorry to hear it.
This is my first night out alone in a long time. I feel a little bit at sea, to tell you the truth.
So you didn't stop to talk because you're Mooney or you have some weird political affiliation?
Nope. Straight down the ticket, Republican. Straight down the ticket, Democrat. Can I tell you something about politics? I like to think of myself as a citizen of the universe. I'm unaffiliated.
That's a relief. So am I.
I vote my beliefs.
Labels are not important.
Labels are not important, exactly. Take me, for example. I mean, what does it matter if I had 2-point it? 3-point it? 4-point at college? Or if I did come from Pittsburgh? Cleveland? Westchester County?
Sure.
I believe that a man is what he is. A person is what he is. A person is what they are.
I think so too.
So what if I admire Trotsky? So what if I once had a total body liposuction? So what if I don't have a penis? So what if I spent a year in the Peace Corps? I was acting my convictions.
Sure.
You just can't hang a sign on a person.
Absolutely. I'll bet you're a Scorpio. Listen, I was headed to the movies after I finished the section. Would you like to come along?
That sounds like fun. What's playing?
A couple of the really early Tom Hanks movies.
Oh,
You don't like Tom Hanks?
sure. I like Tom Hanks.
But you're not crazy about Tom Hanks.
Those early ones kind of get on my nerves. You know, I was headed to the...
I was thinking about...
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say that I was headed to the movies in a little while, and...
So was I.
The Tom Hanks Festival?
Just up the street.
Do you like the early ones?
I think anybody who doesn't ought to be off the planet.
How many times have you seen Forrest Gump?
8 times.
12. So are you still interested?
Do you like Entenmann's crumb cake?
Last night, I went out at 2 in the morning to get one. Did you have an Etch-a-Sketch as a child?
Yes. And do you like Brussels sprouts?
No, I think they're disgusting.
They are disgusting.
Do you still believe in marriage in spite of current sentiments against it?
Yes.
And children?
3 of them.
2 girls and a boy?
Harvard, Vassar, and Brown.
Will you love me?
Yes.
And cherish me forever?
Yes.
Do you still want to go to the movies?
Sure thing.
Waiter.
What else can I say about that performance except... And last but certainly not least on our list of plays for tonight is our rendition of Arsenic and Old Lace, one of my favorites. And this is going to require the talents of all 7 of our cast members to tell the story of the rather strange Brewster family. The story follows Mortimer Brewster, a newlywed drama critic who discovers his family's history of craziness. He soon discovers that his brother, who believes himself to be Teddy Roosevelt, isn't the only insane one in his family. His 2 kind, loving, and giving aunts, Abby and Martha, which seem to be the pinnacle of kindness and old-world charm. The kind, sweet old lady motif that we see all throughout our world seems to fade away when he discovers a body in their window seat. The play takes place in the Brewster household, and things get even more complicated when Mortimer's other brother, a convict, Jonathan, and his sidekick, Dr. Einstein, come home. And things, needless to say, get out of hand. I can't wait for you to see our special rendition of Arsenic and Old Lace. It's especially timely, 80 years after the original production opened on Broadway, and 75 years since the film. To mark both of these special anniversaries, and to adapt the production to our purposes for remote recording, we are proud to present a special mashup of both the film and the original play. This production stars John Rutsky as Mortimer Brewster, Kyla White as Abby Brewster, Ava Friedman as Martha Brewster, Giovanna Cornett as Mr. Gibbs, Teddy Brewster, Officer O'Hara, and Mr. Witherspoon, Dylan Clerkin as Reverend Harper and Dr. Einstein, Rachel Lefkovic as Officer Brophy and Jonathan, and Galsmy Kund as Elaine. Without further ado, I'm proud to present to you Jamesburg Theatre Group's special rendition of Arsenic and Old Lace.
Reverend Harper, I do hope you don't disapprove of Mortimer just because he's a dramatic critic and takes your daughter to the theater every night.
It's not so much that I disapprove of him being a critic, but no man with this published attitude on marriage should take any man's daughter anyplace.
We mustn't be angry with Mortimer. He's so very much in love with her, and Sister Martha and I are so happy about it.
Miss Abby, I came for the toys.
Oh, yes.
Officer, what news have you brought me?
Colonel, I have nothing to report.
Splendid. Thank you, officer. At ease.
Oh, Teddy, will you run upstairs and bring down your Army and Navy from Aunt Martha's room? They're all packed.
That's splendid work you men do, fixing up discarded toys for the kids at camp.
Charge!
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's quite harmless.
Yes, he thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt. So what? There's a lot of worse guys he could think he was.
Oh, well now, isn't this nice?
Good afternoon, Miss Brewster.
How do you do, Mr. Brophy?
Good afternoon, Miss Brewster.
Reverend Harper, how do you do?
Greetings, Miss Martha.
The Army and Navy are ready for action.
Oh, Colonel, this is grand. It'll make a lot of kids happy.
What's this? The organ?
Oh, Teddy dear, put it back.
But the organ goes to Australia.
Now, Teddy.
No, it goes to Australia.
These are lovely. Thank you very much. The children will go crazy.
Oh, now, don't mention it.
I see. Well, I must be going.
As do I. Thank you, Miss Abby.
Goodbye.
Take care, you two.
Dear sweet Reverend Harper, you know, Martha, I really do believe he's beginning to see the light.
Oh, did you just have tea?
Yes, and dinner's going to be late, too.
Oh, why?
Teddy, good news for you. You're going to Panama and dig another lock for the canal.
Delighted. That's bully. Just bully. I shall prepare at once for the journey. Charge!
Abby, while I was out?
Yes, dear. I just couldn't wait for you. I didn't know when you'd be back, and Reverend Harper was coming.
But all by yourself?
Oh, I got along fine.
Well, I'll run right downstairs and see.
No, dear. There wasn't time, and I was all alone.
Well?
Martha, just look in the window seat. Oh, it's Elaine and Mortimer.
You darlings.
And Abby and Martha, hold on to your bustles. We're married. Elaine and I are married.
Oh, darling, how wonderful. Oh, Martha, isn't it wonderful? They're married.
Yeah, and don't be so surprised either, you two old frauds.
We're going to throw you the grandest parties to celebrate. We'll bake a cake and everything.
Oh, darling, you won't have time to bake a cake. We're going to Niagara Falls. Speaking of which, go on, darling. Hurry and pack.
I don't have to. I started packing the day after I met you.
Go on, darling. The train leaves in an hour. And hurry.
It'll be a few minutes before I'm ready. Father may want to pray over me a little.
I've got the two nicest aunts in the world. Of course, you've got the nicest nephew in the world, too.
Oh, Mortimer.
You stay right there. We'll make sure that everything is ready for you and Elaine.
Hello, Mortimer.
How are you, Mr. President?
Boy, thank you. Just boy. What news have you brought me?
Just this, Mr. President. The country is squarely behind you.
Yes, I know. Isn't it wonderful? Well, goodbye. I'm off to Panama.
Goodbye, Mr. President.
A new lock for the canal, you know?
Yeah. Canal. Hey, mister?
Happy bridegroom.
Congratulations, darling.
Never mind that now. And Abby and Martha, you know how we always planned to send Teddy to that sanitarium, Happy Dale?
Oh, yes, dear. That's after we're gone. We talked with Reverend Harper about it.
No, Teddy's gotta go to Happy Dale. Now. At once. Now, he's down in the cellar. Getting up here right away.
But there's no such hurry yet, you know.
No, when Teddy's working on the canal, you can't get his mind on anything else.
Well, look, darlings. Look, I'm perfectly sorry, but I've got an awful shock for you. Teddy's killed a man.
Nonsense.
But there's a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear. We know.
You know?
Of course.
Yes, but it has nothing to do with Teddy. Now, Mortimer, you just forget about it. Forget you ever saw the gentleman.
Forget?
We never dreamed you'd peek.
What the... Who is he?
He's a Mr. Hoskins, Adam Hoskins. That's really all I know about him, except that he's a Methodist.
Oh, he's a Methodist. Isn't that nice?
That's all you know, but what's he doing here? What happened to him?
He died.
Look, and Martha, men just don't get into window seats and die.
No, dear, he died first.
How did he die?
Oh, Mortimer, don't be so inquisitive. The gentleman died because he drank some wine with poison in it.
But how did the poison get into the wine?
Well, we put it in wine because it's less noticeable. When it's in a tea, it has a distinct odor.
You mean you put it in the wine?
Yes, and I put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat because Reverend Harper was coming.
You mean you knew what you'd done and you didn't want the Reverend Harper to see the body?
Well, not at tea. That wouldn't have been very nice.
Oh, it's first degree.
Now, Mortimer, you know all about it, and just forget about it. I do think that Martha and I have the right to our own little secrets.
We told you to just forget the whole thing.
Forget. Look, my dear Aunt Martha, can't I make you realize that something has to be done?
Now, Mortimer, you behave. You're too old to be flying off the handle like this.
But Mr. Hotchkiss.
Hoskins, dear.
But whatever his name is, you can't just leave him in there.
We don't intend to, dear.
No, Teddy's down in the cellar now, digging the lock.
Oh, You mean you're gonna bury Mr. Hotchkiss in the cellar?
Oh, yes, dear. That's what we did with the others.
Look here, Martha, you can't... Others?
Well, the other gentlemen.
Oh, when you say others, do you mean others like more than one others?
Oh, yes, dear. Let's see now. This is 11, isn't it, Abby?
Oh, no, dear. This makes 12.
Abby, dear, I think you're wrong. This one is only 11.
No, dear, because I remember when Mr. Hoskins first came in, it occurred to me that he'd make just an even dozen.
Now, tell me, who was the first one?
Mr. Midgley, he was a Baptist.
He was such a lonely old gentleman, Mr. Midgley was.
All his kith and kin were dead.
We felt so sorry for him.
And then, when his heart attack came, and he sat there dead in that chair, looking so peaceful, remember, Martha? We made up our minds, then and there, that if we could help other lonely old gentlemen to find the same peace, we would.
Why, you poor... You mean he dropped dead right in this chair?
And then, you see, Teddy came up from digging in Panama, and he thought Mr. Midgley was a yellow fever victim, and that meant he had to be buried immediately. So we all took him down to Panama, put him in the lock, and gave him a decent Christian burial.
Do you remember those jars of poison that were in Grandfather's laboratory all these years?
You know your Aunt Martha's knack for mixing things. You've eaten enough of her piccalilli.
Well, dear, for a gallon of elderberry wine, I take a teaspoon of arsenic, then add a touch of strychnine, and then just a pinch of cyanide.
Should have quite a kick.
Yes, as a matter of fact, one of our gentlemen found time to say, "How delicious."
He did? Well, wasn't that nice of him?
Abby, we mustn't be standing here gossiping all night. Well, we must get your cake frosted.
Oh, no, darling, don't worry about the cake. I couldn't eat a thing.
Oh, you newlyweds, a sip of wine will give you an appetite.
Wine? Wait. Let's look at this. Isn't this wonderful? He's down there, happy as a lark, singing away taking walks. They're in there. Poisoning lonely old men got him working on a yellow fever victim. I can see the headlines now. Murder Incorporated writes again right across the front page. Let me see. Well, Teddy. Of course, everybody knows he's crazy. Let me see Happydale. That's right, Happydale Sanitarium. That's where we always intended to send Teddy. I'll get all the papers signed, get all the bodies out of the window seat, and they'll be none the wiser. They'll think Teddy did it. What a plan.
Doorbell's ringing, dear.
Operator, give me long distance.
Oh, how do you do? Come in.
I understand you got a room to rent?
Yes, do step in.
Well, are you the lady of the house?
Yes, I'm Miss Brewster, and this is my sister, another Miss Brewster.
My name's Gibbs.
Well, do sit down. Oh, I'm sorry, but we're just setting the table for dinner now.
Oh, hello? Long distance? I want the Happydale Sanitarium. Happydale, New York.
Is Brooklyn your home?
I haven't got a home. I live in a hotel. Don't like it.
Are your family Brooklyn people?
Haven't got any family.
All alone in the world?
Yeah.
Well, Martha.
No, Happydale. Yes!
Well, you've come just to the right house. You sit down.
Dale! D, like in dig. You know when you dig a lock? Yes, that's right. A, like in arsenic. You got that?
Is there always this much noise?
Oh, he doesn't live with us.
I'd really like to see the room. I don't think I'll like it.
The room's upstairs. Won't you try a glass of our wine before we start up?
Never touch it.
Well, we make it ourselves. It's elderberry wine.
Elderberry? I haven't tasted elderberry wine since I was a boy. Thank you.
Operator! Well, I don't want the Happy Dale laundry. I want the Happy Dale sanitarium. Sanitarium, sanitarium, sanitarium! Yes, like a broken record.
Have your own elderberry bushes?
No, but the cemetery's full of them.
Wow, skull.
What? What? They're busy? Busy? They're busy and you're dizzy. No, I'm not drunk, madam, but you've given me an idea.
Mortimer,
Darling, I'm nervous. Don't do this.
Mortimer, not that.
Get out of here. Do you want to be murdered? Do you want to be poisoned? Do you want to be killed? Look, you can't do things like that. Now, I don't know how I can explain this to you, but it's not only against the law, it's wrong.
Oh, piffle.
It's not a nice thing to do. People wouldn't understand. He wouldn't understand. What I mean is, well, this is developing into a very bad habit. Now listen, darlings, I've got to run over to Judge Coleman's, but before I go, I want you to promise me something.
Well, we'd have to know what it was first.
Don't do anything. I mean, don't do anything. Don't let anyone in the house. I wouldn't want anything in the world to happen to either of you.
But, Mortimer...
What, darling? What?
We were planning to hold services before dinner.
Look, couldn't that wait until I get back?
Oh, and you can join us in the hymns.
Oh, yes, darling. I could join you in the hymns. I'll sing with you. I'll dance with you. I'll do anything, but remember, don't let anybody in the house until I get back. You promise? Good. But I'll be back soon.
But what are we going to do about Mr. Hoskins?
Oh, Mr. Hoskins. It can't be very comfortable for him in there. He's been so patient, the poor dear. Well, I think Teddy had better take Mr. Hoskins downstairs right away. Teddy, there's been another yellow fever victim.
Dear me, this will be a shock to the nation.
No, Teddy, we must keep it a secret.
Yeah.
State secret?
Yes, a state secret.
Promised.
You have the word of the President of the United States. Cross my heart, I hope to die. Let's see. How are we going to keep it a secret?
Well, Teddy, I think you'd better get back down to the cellar and take the poor man down to the canal. Now get along, Teddy, and we'll come down later and hold services.
Where is the poor devil?
In the window seat.
Seems to be spreading. I've never had yellow fever there before.
Oh, I'll go, dear.
Abby, we promised Mortimer we wouldn't let anyone in. Abby, 2 men, and I've never seen them before.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let me look. They're strangers to me.
Well, we'll just have to pretend we're not home.
Come in, Doctor. This is the home of my youth. As a boy, I couldn't wait to escape from this house. Now, I'm glad to escape back into it.
Yes, Johnny, it's a good hideout. Look, Johnny, drink.
As if we were expected.
Well, Johnny, what do we do now? We've got a hot stiff on our hands. We've got to find some place for Mr. Spinalzo.
Don't waste any worry on that rat.
But, Johnny, we can't just leave a dead body on the porch. What will the neighbors think? We've got to find some place for Mr. Spinalzo.
All right, bring in Mr. Spinalzo. Be quick about it. I'll find him a hiding place.
But he's too heavy for me, Johnny.
Pull the stiff in here and I'll give you a hand. Be quick about it. Be careful, Doctor. This has to be a clean operation.
Oh, Johnny, he's so heavy. Grab his feet, grab his feet.
I've got them. Quickly, to the window seat. The old ladies will never know.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
And Abby and Martha. It's Jonathan.
You get out of here.
I'm Jonathan, you know. Your nephew, Jonathan.
Oh, no, you're not. You're nothing like Jonathan, so don't pretend you are. You get out of here.
I see you're still wearing the lovely garnet ring that Grandma Brewster bought in England. And you, Aunt Martha, still the high collar that had the scar where the acid burned you.
Why, his voice is just like Jonathan's.
Have you been in an accident?
My face! Dr. Einstein is responsible for that. He's a plastic surgeon.
But I've seen that face before. Do you remember when we took that little Schultz boy to the movies and I was so frightened? It was that face.
Take it easy, Johnny. Take it easy. Don't worry. The last 5 years, I give him 3 different faces. I give him another one right away. That last face, I saw that picture too, just before I operated. I was intoxicated.
You see, Doctor, what you've done to me? Even my own family thinks I'm...
Johnny, you are home in this lovely house. You know how many times he tells me about Brooklyn, about this house, and about his aunts he loves so much? They know you, Johnny. Please tell him so.
Well, Jonathan, it's been a long time.
Bless you. It's good to be home again.
Gentlemen, what news have you brought me?
Johnny, it's Teddy Roosevelt.
No, you fool. This is my brother. He just thinks he's Teddy Roosevelt.
I beg your pardon. I most certainly am Teddy Roosevelt. As a matter of fact, I'm off to inspect the canal in the cellar.
The cellar?
Well, we let him dig the Panama Canal in the cellar.
Teddy, I think it's time for you to go to bed.
I beg your pardon. Who are you?
I'm Woodrow Wilson. Go to bed.
No, you're not Wilson. But your face is familiar. Let me see. Not anyone I know now. Perhaps later on my hunting trip to Africa. Yes! You look like someone I might meet in the jungle!
Johnny, no more, please.
Go with him to inspect the canal, Doctor.
Bowie. Follow me. It's down south, you know.
Where's Teddy? Is he upstairs? Holy, what's that? What's that thing there that looks like a cigar store tummy?
It's your brother, Jonathan, and he's brought a friend, Dr. Einstein.
Aunt Abby, didn't I tell you not to let anybody in the house while I was gone? Who did you say it was?
It's your brother, Jonathan.
I've come home, Mortimer.
What?
I've come home, Mortimer.
Listen, it talks.
Yes, I talk, Mortimer. Have you ever forgotten the things I used to do to you when you were tied to the bedpost, the needles under your fingernails?
Oh, don't you two boys start quarreling again the minute you've seen each other.
We invited Jonathan and Dr. Einstein to stay.
What?
Just for tonight.
No, you don't. I'm staying here tonight. In fact, I'm staying here from now on. There's no room for anybody else in this house. See that little squirt and beat it. Now, where's Teddy? I've got to see him right away. Is he upstairs?
Mr. Brewster, we don't take up much room. Johnny can sleep on the sofa, and I'll sleep on the window seat.
Nothing to... Window seat? Certainly not in the window seat. I'm going to sleep in the window seat from now on. I'm going to sleep in the window seat from now on. And look, Jonathan, now be a good fellow and go haunt yourself a hotel.
Mortimer, you know what I do to people who order me around.
If you won't get a hotel, just give me 3 minutes here. I've got some business here to attend to.
Business?
Yes, business. Now, shoo. Go into the kitchen for a while and have yourself a piece of wedding cake. Go on. How do you like that? The guy stays away for 20 years and picks the night of all nights to come back. Hoskins, ye gods! There's another one. And Abby and Martha, come here.
Yes, dear. What is it?
Didn't you promise me not to let anyone in the house while I was gone?
Jonathan just walked in.
I don't mean Jonathan.
And Dr.
And I don't mean Dr. Einstein. Who is that in the window seat?
We told you, Mr. Hoskins.
He is not Mr. Hoskins. There.
Who can that be?
You're trying to tell me you've never seen that man before?
I certainly am. Well, this is a fine how do you do. It's getting so anyone thinks he can walk in this house.
Now, you look here, Aunt Abby. Don't you try to get out of this. That's another one of your gentlemen, and you know it.
Mortimer, how can you say such a thing? That man's an imposter. And if he came here to be buried in our cellar, well, then he's mistaken.
You admitted to me that you put Mr. Hoskins in the window seat.
Yes, I did.
Well, this man couldn't have gotten the idea from Mr. Hoskins.
Oh, no.
By the way, where is Mr. Hoskins?
He must have gone to Panama.
What? You buried him?
No, not yet. He's down there waiting for services. Poor dear. We haven't had a minute, what with Jonathan in the house. Oh dear. We've always wanted to hold a double funeral, but I will not read services over a total stranger.
A total stranger. Aunt Abby, how can I believe you? There are 12 men down there. Some of you admit you poisoned them.
Yes, I did. But you don't think I'd stoop to telling a fib?
A fib? Oh, John.
This may interest you, Mortimer. I've decided that I'm staying. I've also decided that you are leaving. And I mean now.
Listen, handsome. I'm in no mood to debate the question. Are you getting out, or am I throwing you out on your ear?
I've led a strange life, Mortimer.
Martha, we've got to get him out of the window seat.
No. And Abby, don't. Jonathan, let Aunt Martha see what's in the window seat. And Abby, darling, I owe you an apology. I've got some very good news for you. Jonathan is leaving. He's taking Dr. Einstein and their cold companion with him. Listen, Jonathan, you're my brother. You're a Brewster. So I'm giving you a chance to get away and take the evidence with you. Can't ask for more than that. Well, all right. Well, in that case, I'll have to call the police.
Don't reach for the telephone. Remember, what happened to Mr. Spinalzo can happen to you too.
Spinalzo?
I knew he was a foreigner.
Put down that telephone, Mortimer. What's the matter?
You know that hole in the cellar?
Yes.
We got an ace in the hole.
An ace? If you tell the police what's in the window seat, I'll tell him what's down in the cellar.
Cellar?
There's an elderly gentleman down there who seems to be very dead.
What were you doing down in the cellar?
What is he doing in the cellar?
Who?
There's a friend of Mortimer's downstairs waiting for him.
A friend of Mortimer's?
Mr. Spinalzo and he will get along fine, though. They're both dead.
Oh, he must mean Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins?
You know about what's down there?
Of course we do. And he's no friend of Mortimer's. He's one of our gentlemen.
Your gentleman?
Yes, and we won't have any strangers buried in our cellar.
But Mr. Hoskins.
Mr. Hoskins is no stranger.
Besides, there's no more room for Mr. Spinalzo. The cellar's crowded already.
Crowded with what?
There are 12 graves down there now.
12 graves?
That leaves very little room, and we're going to need it.
You mean that you and Aunt Martha have murdered 12?
Murdered? Certainly not. It's one of our charities.
Why, what we've been doing is a mercy.
So you just take your Mr. Spinalzo out of here.
You've done all that right here in this house and buried them in the cellar?
That's wonderful, Johnny. We've been chased all over the world, and they stay right here in Brooklyn, and they do just as good as you do.
What?
Yeah, you got 12, they got 12.
I've got 13.
No, Johnny, 12. Don't brag.
13. There's Mr. Spinalzo, and the first one in London.
Yeah?
2 in Johannesburg, 1 in Sydney, 1 in Melbourne, 2 in San Francisco, and 1 in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix?
The filling station.
Filling state. Oh, yes.
3 in Chicago and 1 in South Bend. That makes 13.
You cannot count the one in South Bend. He died of pneumonia.
He wouldn't have died of pneumonia if I hadn't shot him.
No, Johnny. You cannot count him. You got 12, they got 12. The old ladies is just as good as you are.
They are they? That's easily taken care of. All I need is 1 more. That's all. Just 1 more. And I've got a pretty good idea who it is.
Hello.
Oh, Officer O'Hara.
I saw the lights and thought you might have sickness in the house.
No.
Oh, you got company. I'm so sorry to disturb you.
No, come in.
Yes, do come in.
Come right in, Officer O'Hara. This is our nephew, Mortimer.
Oh, pleased to meet you.
I'm glad to see you, fellow.
And this is another nephew, Jonathan.
Oh, I see. So I've been turned in, huh? Now I'll do some turning in. You think my aunts are sweet, charming old ladies, don't you? Well, there's 13 bodies buried in the cellar. Yes, 13!
Be careful what you say about your aunts. They happen to be friends of mine.
I'll show them to you.
Don't you make any trouble for them. Do you hear me?
You come down to the cellar.
Now, wait a minute.
13 bodies. I'll show you where they're buried.
Oh, please.
Look, stop this now. We wouldn't want to get carried away with ourselves, would we, Jonathan?
I'll get you, all of you. I hate cops. I'll bring the first one that comes near me.
Shut it, Frankenstein.
Now.
Officer O'Hara.
No need to worry, Miss Martha. He'll be locked away for a long time. Trust me. Now come along, you.
You haven't seen the last of me. I'll be back, and I'm going to come looking for you, Mortimer.
Let's go. Come on.
But Johnny, wait, Johnny.
Good heavens, what a night it's been.
You can say that again.
From now on, no more open doors, okay? I can't afford another mess like this.
Yes, dear.
You have our word.
Now let's see, where was I?
Mr. Brewster.
Oh, Mr. Witherspoon, I can't tell you how glad I am to see you. Mr. Witherspoon, before, look, you will take good care of Teddy at Happydale.
Best take care of him, Mr. Brewster.
Oh, that's fine. And no wagon when he leaves.
Why? Take him away. Oh, never. Taxi cabs. We always have one waiting now.
Yes, look, it means a great deal to me. You will personally see that Teddy's happy at Happydale.
He'll be very happy at Happydale.
That's good.
You've come to meet Teddy, haven't you?
No, Miss Brewster. I've come to take him.
Oh, no. No, he can't go now. We won't permit it.
We won't be separated from Teddy.
I'm sorry.
Mortimer, how can you allow this? You promised.
Mr. Brewster's got nothing to do with this, see? The law is the law. Teddy's committed himself and he's got to go.
Well, if he's going, we're going too.
Yes, you'll have to take us with him.
Why? Why not? Why not indeed?
Oh, well now indeed. It's sweet of them to want to go, but it's quite impossible. You never take sane people at Happydale.
Now, these two little sane people, mixed up with all the others, you will get lost in the shuffle. You could arrange that. Just put them in and they'll get all mixed up.
Oh no, too dangerous. Dissension, jealousy. Now let's be sensible, ladies. You know there's still murders to be solved in Brooklyn. It's not only his shouting and the neighbors being afraid of him. The police are liable to have to dig up your cellar.
Our cellar?
Yeah, Teddy's been telling about there's 13 bodies buried in the cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in our cellar.
What?
Yes, you just asked our nephew, Mortimer.
Certainly there are 13 bodies down in the cellar, and there are hundreds more up in the attic.
What is this?
You mustn't mind Mortimer. He's been a little strange all day.
Well, right now, I wouldn't know what isn't and what is strange anymore. I better have a look in that cellar.
I'll tell you what we're going to do, Mr. Witherspoon. I'll bring my bodies down from the attic, and you'll get yours from the cellar, and we'll put them all together and we'll send them to Happydale. Humor them. Smile.
What?
There's one in the window seat, a Mr. Spinalzo who doesn't belong here and who's going to have to leave.
But the other 12 are our gentlemen.
Your gentleman.
Oh, you'd like mine better. None of mine are gentlemen.
Oh, you mustn't mind him at all. He got married today.
There's a Happydale far, far away. There's a Happydale.
Yeah.
He's got it. It's amazing. Look, don't you think you could find room for the ladies?
Just the ladies?
Just the ladies, not me.
Well, of course. They'd have to be committed.
Well, Teddy committed himself. Couldn't they commit themselves also? All they have to do is sign the papers.
Certainly.
Oh, well, if we can go with Teddy, then we'll sign the papers. Where are they?
I have them, ladies. I have them right here. Ladies, if you'll sign.
Right here?
Yes, please. It's on the right-hand side right there.
I'm really looking forward to going. The neighborhood here has changed so.
Yes, especially since they won that old pennant thing.
Now, Mr. Brewster, you sign. You sign as next of kin.
Oh, next of kin.
Mortimer, we're really very worried about something.
Oh, now, darling, don't be worried.
Me too, Mortimer.
You both are going to be very happy at Happydale.
Oh, yes, dear. We're very happy about the whole thing, but that's just it. Well, we don't want anything to go wrong.
Well, what could go wrong?
Mortimer, will they investigate the signatures?
You mean mine?
You see, you signed as next of kin.
Oh, what's wrong about that, darling?
Well, Martha, you tell him now.
Well, dear,
What, dear?
you're not really a Brewster.
Your mother came to us as a cook, and you were born about 3 months afterwards. And she was such a sweet woman and such a good cook, we didn't want to lose her. So, brother married her. Your father was a chef, too. He was a cook on a tramp steamer.
You mean I'm not really a Brewster? Oh.
Oh, darling, don't feel so bad about it.
I'm sure it won't make any difference to Elaine.
Elaine, where are you? Can you hear me? I'm not really a Brewster. I'm the son of a sea cook.
Mortimer, it's true. I saw them. Mortimer, it's true. There are 13 bodies down there. I saw them.
What is all this?
They're going on their honeymoon.
But wait, Mr. Brewster.
No, I'm not a Brewster. I'm the son of a sea cook. God!
Love birds.
Yes.
So, Mr. Witherspoon, does your family live with you at Happydale?
I have no family.
Oh.
Well, I suppose you consider everyone at Happydale your family?
I'm afraid you don't quite understand. As head of the institution, I have to keep quite aloof.
That must make it very lonely for you.
It does. But my duty's my duty.
Well, Martha, since Mr. Witherspoon has no family, you should fine.
Elderberry wine?
We make it ourselves.
Why, yes. Of course, our relationship at Happydale will be more formal. But here, not too much elderberry wine nowadays. I thought I had my last glass of it.
Oh, no.
No. Here is your last glass.
This has been the third annual Theater for a Cause. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you haven't done so already, please donate in our GoFundMe to the Jamesburg First Aid Squad. It's always a pleasure, and until we see you again, please stay safe, please be well, and please keep the arts close to your heart. Thank you.